Ladies and gents, Smark City's here. Impromptu podcast because holy shit, Cruiserweight Classic was awesome. Alex Briggs here. I've got Chris Marshall. Say hi, Chris.
You can call me Zent, but either way, what's up, world?
Isn't Chris the dude with the Gandhi thing? That is Gandhi, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure. I didn't want to embarrass myself.
I'm
And
shaking my head at you.
of course you are. And Drew Nicholas. Hi, Drew. Say hi, Drew.
Hello, I'm the guy with George Washington.
And a dick on George Washington said yes. Anyway,
As George Washington would want it.
yeah, of course. Chris was watching NXT before this. I think all of us watched part of NXT, but Chris wanted to specifically talk about NXT real quick in contrast to what we saw in the Cruiserweight Classic. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so NXT used to be one of the biggest reasons anyone ever had the WWE Network. It was the focal point of wrestling fans who were on the internet for a while, and ever since the WWE brand split, they've been poached for a lot of talent, and it's like your favorite baseball, basketball, or football team winning the championship, and for whatever reason they can't hold the roster together, so they literally have to reboot. They bring in a couple of veterans to man the ship, and they literally build from the ground up. So what we have now are several old TNA stars and Shinsuke Nakamura holding down the main event scene, basically. But the men's division is being rebuilt. The women's division is being rebuilt. Bayley, in her promo tonight, seemed completely over NXT at the moment. And so the only thing really worth watching on NXT is the tag team division. But even tonight's episode, and going probably several weeks back, is that it suffers from the same thing Raw and SmackDown do. There is entirely too much talking and not enough wrestling. And this sets up a perfect contrast between why people are so down on the product, even after the reboot, compared to how excited everyone is about the CWC. Because there's very little talking, and it's all wrestling.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm a big fan of NXT, so I've been watching for a long, long time, and I know what you're talking about. The tag team division is the strength of it right now. They're definitely having to rebuild the women's division because they've lost all their the women's division when the draft happened.
Right, and bringing up Nia Jax did nothing to help that.
Well, what do you mean? Like?
Well, because now she's on Raw, squashing people. But now there's a massive hole in the competition in NXT for the women.
Yeah. But that was the thing. Here's what was so crazy to me is they were building up, specifically they were building up Carmella, Nia Jax, and Alexa Bliss, right? So it was like, okay, here's the new women's division, and then they immediately all just disappeared. So it was like, oh, so the people I thought the women's division were going to be are now all gone.
Right, and when you looked at Bayley's promo tonight, like, she was left there to kind of hand over the torch to the next group of women.
Yeah.
But that group of women got shipped off, and now there's just Asuka.
Yeah.
So Bayley has nothing to pass that tradition on to, except for this one woman and a bunch of women who still have to develop.
Yeah, and it's just rough because Bayley was supposed to hand it off to the women who just got called up before her, which is weird. So they're waiting on like Ember Moon, who, if y'all don't know, she's great. She's debuting at Brooklyn or around Brooklyn. I'm not sure on the top of my head, but that's who it's going to next. So it'll be Ember Moon, Billie Kay. Like, I mean, there's a big drop off. So the women's division is going to take some time, and they're I don't know. I think that's probably why it was a little too talky, was because they're trying to get the established people their segments, which would be more talking. So it was, for example, Austin Aries in the Regal's office, same for Gargano and Ciampa, those kind of things. But the younger people need to get more established for working matches, and the matches just aren't that good, or they aren't as good relatively to as what they were. So it's going to take time.
Because we're used to seeing quality, whereas where the women and even some of the men are like way back in the early days of NXT when they're really trying to rebuild everything to something quality that you want to watch. Because even what's his name, Cien Almas,
Hmm.
Like, he's a fantastic wrestler, but nothing about him works in NXT at the moment. He should be way bigger than he is.
Yeah, he should. He. I don't know. He was the one guy that like the package does not fit. Like his music doesn't fit with being
Yeah,
babyface. I guess. Just something
his
about it just doesn't click.
his
And
looks, his moves, like he's
But you know
way.
what? I think what the problem is with him is he's suffering with that classic babyface booking in WWE right now, where they're booked to be like douchebags, but there shouldn't be douchebags because they're babyfaces.
I don't know if there's been enough time for that. I think it was just a lazy booking of he is La Sombra. We know you guys like him, so we don't have to worry too much. You're going to cheer him anyway. I think that was the problem. And then they put him against Dillinger, and whoops, we
Yeah.
fucked it up. Um, Here's the nice thing: is NXT's got Hideo Itami and Nakamura. Who Nakamura's
Nakamura is
Joe
the
or
reason to
Nakamura,
watch.
one or the other is coming up in the next month or two. Like it just feels that way. Um,
I think it's Nakamura coming up because they have too much TNA talent down there at the moment for it to make sense for Joe to come up. Like keep the TNA veterans together to hold down the show while everybody else gets built up.
well, I think it's easier to bring in a monster heel than it is someone like Nakamura. You got to have the special, perfect time for Nakamura. I think Nakamura is going to be NXT champion first. I think we're going to get Nakamura versus Hideo Itami before Nakamura leaves, which I would love. But they're gonna lean on Itami, Almas, right, and
Right.
probably Ty Dillinger for their men's singles division. Their tag team division is probably the best in WWE,
Right.
but the rest of it's lacking. And
That,
so yeah,
that tag division can go toe to toe with any tag team in Raw or SmackDown Live.
yeah,
Well, except for American Alpha. Let's be reasonable.
yeah. American Alpha is the best in WWE. They are
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow,
I love.
I'm gonna tell Breezango on you.
Well,
They're
I
the most
love
beautiful
Breezango,
tag
but
team.
I'd put Breezango third or fourth. Like they're up there. But I mean, American Alpha, they have something special. It's not fully Shield, but it's Shield-like in my opinion. Something about them just clicks.
Real quick, something Shield like. The Authors of Pain did this awesome powerbomb thing where both people pick up an opponent, smash their backs together, and then powerbomb them.
I love that too. I love it when they do the
Wow.
kick and do it into a side slam too.
Okay, that was legit as hell.
Yeah, they're fun.
Too bad TM61 had to be a bunch of idiots and run out
I
there.
said this before we started this. The Mighty Don't Kneel was their former tag team name, but I was like, the Mighty Don't Kneel, more like the Mighty Don't Think. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
That was why are you trying to hit the Authors of Pain alone? That's
Like
not
I
smart.
got psyched when they came out, and then that happened. I was like, oh, dude, no.
They need to give them better music.
Oh, for sure. Because that was not run out music by any.
No. Yeah, that was like, I don't. There's nothing to pop to.
Yeah, it's like sit there and wait for us so you can kind of figure out who we are. But
Yeah.
like the only other real moment that grabbed my attention was at the end with Nakamura honking Joe's nose.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. It's great.
Like,
He's not
it's-
afraid of. He's not afraid of Joe at all, and it's just amazing.
Like it's kind of a joke to him that anyone thinks Joe is a threat.
Well, that's the thing is he's not been booked strongly in NXT. They're trying to act like he's this monster now. Well, he lost to Finn Balor twice before winning and then winning another one. But like that's the only thing he's accomplished with on his own is a couple matches with Finn Balor. Everything else was just kind of wishy-washy. The winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, he did it with Finn. You know, so
Who has Joe faced in NXT that's not Finn Balor?
that's a good question. He faced Mojo Rawley tonight.
His name's Nomo Rawley.
Please go away, Rawley. Get the fuck
Like-
off my TV, Rawley.
Like I thought he was bad on SmackDown, and I thought he was horrible on NXT before. But the fact that I've seen him up on the main roster and now back down in NXT, unrecorded episode. Oh my God, I cannot stand him anymore.
You know, I feel like I would be able to stand him if he wasn't wearing eye black and wearing like wrestling tights. I feel like there's a way you can make it work, just not like this. Probably as a heel, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I can't even look him in the eyes because of that stupid eyeliner on his cheeks.
Yeah,
You know?
it's rough. Oh well.
It bugs me.
Point being, everyone loves
Like, he
talking
has,
about
like,
how
a-
great Samoa Joe has been in NXT, and I can't tell you anything he's done other than feud with Finn Balor and
Like
split.
he's been as good as he ever was. He's nothing better than that though.
Yeah, and I
So
think
he's-
the problem is he's facing the depth problem in NXT at the moment too, because
Yeah.
Tommy was injured. They were holding Nakamura away from him. I think you put him on the main roster, he would give you some amazing storylines because there's a lot of guys he could work with on the main roster, and it would work wonderfully. But
Oh, definitely.
it's just not. I don't know. It's just not working at the moment.
So here's I have a question. So
we need to move
now
on to
we
the
have
Cruiserweight soon.
Yeah.
we have Almas is going to be, we found out tonight, at TakeOver, and he's going to be facing Mr. Glorious himself, Bobby Roode.
Glorious.
No, I will not be Glorious bombing tonight. Do we think that he's going to get over in this match at TakeOver?
No.
Because it seems like
No.
everyone's going to be on Bobby Roode's side.
No,
Th-
he ain't getting over.
This is almost his wake-up check. You're in
This
the
is
WWE.
this is his last babyface opportunity. They're gonna have to turn him heel after this.
He's too boring to support.
Well, he hasn't said anything except for like one backstage interview. They're just relying on the look in his background of you'll cheer La Sombra, come on, and I'm sorry, that's not good enough.
Okay, so let's switch from something that's hard to talk about to something that we actually enjoy, and that's the CWC.
So, did either of you watch the first match?
I did, and
I have it on actually mute while you guys were talking.
Ah, okay.
okay, I grew up watching WCW, and Tajiri looked like he was back in WCW in the 90s tonight. It was amazing.
Grand Metalik is amazing as well, and that top rope slingshot elbow drop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I just saw that like not
You
even
just
a
saw
minute ago. It was- oh my god! I thought it was-
Oh, that was so good. Just so y'all know, I was doing the Cruiserweight Contenders series on the previous website where we lost all the information. I had Grand Metalik number 8 overall, I think, in that area, maybe 876. I knew he was going to get deep in this tournament because he has connections within WWE. Finn Balor especially is like really impressed with him and knows him from working in Mexico. So you know he passed his Rolodex over to Triple H for this. But they basically hyped him up before this tournament as like, this dude can do things that no one else can do in the ring. And it's true. He does high-flying moves that no one else does. Like no one does walking out on the ropes to hit an elbow drop. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought one of the coolest things he did was when Tajiri had him in that leg lock with his arms behind him, and so Metalik was like trying to use his calf to kick Tajiri in the head from a really weird angle. Like that was just a brilliant little touch to like how they were working together.
And there are reports that he's signed with WWE already, I believe. This is what the Cruiserweight division is going to be about, is those little special things like that are just different and unique and wonderful. And he is such a wonderful example of what the Cruiserweight Classic and the Cruiserweight division are supposed to represent. I knew he was great. I'm glad that he's showing it. Tajiri looks amazing, by the way.
He's older than me, and he moves like he's a teenager.
Like, they need to bring him in. Like, they're talking about bringing in older guys. Bring
sure
in
they will.
Tajiri.
I'm sure they will.
I hope they do. They better.
I mean, they've been doing a couple of little fun YouTube things with him and Regal again.
Is he going to hang around NXT and just be like the ghost of NXT for Regal? I hope
That
so.
would
That'd be
be.
fun.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they're going to keep him around in some capacity.
Oh God, I hope so. He's been working over in Japan, obviously, but yeah, that match was amazing, and this is partly why the Cruiserweight Classic is so great. Is it's small promotional video packages followed by barn burner wrestling matches. You know what I mean?
Like
Um,
the videos basically take the place of the old school promo.
yeah,
Who, what, when, where, why? Let's fight.
yeah, exactly. And it's just saying, I'm here for this reason. I know this person's great, but I've got to advance in this tournament because I got to feed my kids or whatever. And it's just great. Who is that? Zent.
Or
Fix your thing. There we go. Anyway, that was weird. Yeah, that's just kind of my opinion on the Cruiserweight Classic. Is just that it's so great because it's so straightforward. There's not much wasted movement and time and effort and all that. Drew, are you still watching that match?
no, I'm done with it now.
What'd you think?
The fact, I mean, I don't know how old Tajiri is, but now that Zen said that
He's in his
Tajiri
40s.
is older than Zen, which means he's now ancient. Um,
Oh, poor Zent. He's not even here to defend himself, apparently.
I know, that's
Dude,
what I'm saying.
I'm coming up on 37. I am probably more athletic and flexible than you, and you're what?
We're not going to get into that. So,
Exactly.
You're not more than me.
I was only trying to trash talk you because I thought you weren't here. I'm sorry.
My dogs flipped out. I had to shut them up.
Yeah, I know. And
it's
you
okay.
muted it, and then I could hear feedback, and that was bad. Anyway.
So, Tajiri, for his age, is absolutely fantastic.
It's great.
And I'm not familiar with either of them because I didn't watch WCW or, any of that stuff.
You were too young.
Okay, haha. I'm 25. Okay. I did watch WWF though in the late 90s. So I'm not familiar with Grand Metalik either, but I'm really into him because I think he's great too. And if it sounds like I'm talking like Donald Trump right now, it's only because I don't know anything about them, and I'm trying to make myself feel like I know something about them.
As long as you are straightforward with your ignorance, I'm happy.
But I'm totally straightforward, and I love them both, and
Good.
I hope that they keep Tajiri.
He has to say something about how he's the best podcaster of all time.
Let me tell you, this is the best.
He's great.
Ever. I guarantee it.
Great.
Guarantee it. Best podcast ever.
He's great.
He's great.
He's so good at podcasting, he should win the election.
Let me tell you, folks, so great.
So great. So great.
Okay.
So
we got to talk about what happened next.
we got to talk about Kota Ibushi versus Cedric Alexander.
Okay, first off, Cedric Alexander looks so much better than he did in ROH just a year ago.
I know. Well, here's the thing: is I went researching. I'm not a big indie watcher or watching, and I wouldn't consider Ring of Honor indies, but you know what I mean.
But it's something you have to go out of the way.
It's something I have to go out of my way to watch, and I don't usually do that. So when the Cruiserweight Classic was happening, I went out and I looked at these guys. And Cedric Alexander, I watched him wrestle AJ Styles in, fuck if I know where. It's probably on YouTube. And it's a great match, but he's not what he was tonight. He has improved, clearly, radically improved over the past couple of years. And tonight's effort was just, I gotta fill my plate, you know? Like, he went all out. It was so impressive, and you gotta respect it. It was great.
The interesting thing is, the weight doesn't seem to have affected his motion at all. It's affected his attitude and his approach to how he does everything.
Yeah.
Because he's always been as strong and agile as he was when he was bigger. But it's like he decided he's really in for this for the long haul and rededicated himself. Like that fire's back.
Clearly something is there. His physique is impressive now, where in the past it was slightly impressive. You know what I mean?
Like, oh,
Uh,
you got a 4-pack going.
yeah,
Nice.
you know, I could probably get there with a month. Now it's like I can never get there. But
Yeah.
it's I haven't. It was crazy how like people went into that match cheering Ibushi mainly, right? Because it's Ibushi, it's Kota Ibushi. He's one of the best in the world, and he has been for years.
Well, even
And
on top of that, you know his history with Nakamura and how fantastic that match at Wrestling Kingdom 9 was.
you know his history with
Potential.
Nakamura. You know his history with Prince Devitt Finn Balor. Uh,
You know everything he's capable of, and
I,
then
I'll
still
I'll tell you
this
this.
magic happened.
My favorite match ever might be Kota Ibushi versus Prince Devitt versus Low Ki at, I think it's Wrestle Kingdom,
No
like
shit.
8 or something. It's
Seriously.
my God, it's stupid.
I'll watch that when we're done.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Anyway, so everyone knows Kota, so he's getting the cheers, but just the aggression and almost this desperation from Alexander. Like, I've got to give the absolute best I've got. I've got to go places I don't normally go, and it was just great.
Like one of the
Drew called it a spot fest.
Oh boy, here we go.
Drew, I want your head right now. You better keep me from pulling your head off. What do you got to say for yourself?
First of all, screw you. That's number one. Number two, it was a spot fest, and we were in our little DMs talking about how
Can you be any more
emotional it
white?
was.
In our little DMs.
And I agree with you. It wasn't, I could see the emotion on Cedric's face, towards the end of the match, and that really got me into it. And then the real emotional part was Triple H coming out afterwards, and after the crowd are saying to sign him, and that was the real emotional moment to me. The match, I mean, look, I'm not familiar with Kota Ibushi and Cedric Alexander and Ring of Honor and New Japan and wherever. I didn't. Last week, Ciampa and Gargano, I think, was better than this. I loved the story.
I can
It was
understand.
emotional throughout the whole thing, and even afterwards. And there was no emotion except the emotion coming from Cedric Alexander towards the end and Triple H after the match. So I just thought that Ciampa Gargano was better.
I can understand why you liked Gargano and Ciampa better because you've had time to acclimate yourself with them and to understand who they are.
and he loves the glorious bomb.
And he loves the Glorious Bomb, so yeah, he's biased. I'm just struggling to get this out. The match tonight with Alexander and Ibushi, I think, is... First off, I don't think you have to classify which is better. I just thought it was one of the best matches of the year tonight. And Gargano and Ciampa. I thought they were both
I agree with you.
fantastic in their both ways. Tonight, the emotion, it took a little while for you to feel it, right?
Yeah.
Well, from the beginning of the match, I felt it because I've watched both these guys before, and I was watching Alexander's desperation to not get kicked in the face by Kota Ibushi. Like, starting the match, he was doing everything he could to avoid it, and then he got kicked. And then he's like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to hit him as hard as I fucking can as well. And they went like that for a while, and then Alexander started hitting stuff that he just... Every big thing he could do, he tried. He hit a brainbuster suplex. My God, he hit the dive to the outside. He the Hurricane Rana from the top rope. He flipped out of.
Which was kind of botched, by the way.
It was kind of botched, but it also works because it's like he got pulled off balance, so he jumped off it. You know what I mean? It's not perfect, but
What I found interesting was both wrestlers approached it in the manner like, I know not one single move is going to do anything. And so they took their time trying to break each other down a little bit, and then all of a sudden Alexander just like realized, this is the time I got to make a move. and then that's when everything just came to life.
This was a
That's when I got
style.
sucked in.
This was a strong style match. This was if this happened in New Japan, you would have not been surprised at all. The way the finish ended with just the flurry of moves, you see a lot of that in New Japan, where it's just desperation for I got to hit a bunch of stuff to even get a pin here.
Well, see, all of that stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
But like it seemed like a very slow escalation in this match, and then all of a sudden Cedric like jumped it up like 5 notches.
Yeah, it was like a steady crawl, and then all of a sudden an explosion.
Yeah, and then like that last 5 to 6 minutes was oh my god.
Yeah.
That's when I was getting it. That's when I really got into it in the last 5 minutes.
Alexander hit that driver. Ibushi kicked out at like 2.88 or something crazy. Cedric like freaked out for less than a nanosecond, kicked him in the face, got a 2.99 pin, and then he's like, well, fuck, I don't even know what to do now. Like, how do you beat someone that bad and they still can't kick out that close? Like, that was fantastic. You don't need to see Ibushi's face to feel that emotion.
I'll tell you the one thing that I thought was also understated about this match that really needs to be pointed out was Mauro Ranallo and Daniel Bryan on commentary late in the match being like, we have to have a winner. The time limit is coming up. If we don't get a pinfall in these next few minutes, neither of these guys is moving on. And I remember hearing that and just being like, that cannot happen. No.
I noticed Mauro and Daniel Bryan actually turned down how much they talked during a match.
Yeah.
Like, they were legit invested. Like, they couldn't believe what they were watching at a certain point either.
I think, I don't remember when, but there was one point where I think Ibushi hit a flipping something or another, and Daniel Bryan's like, I'm lightheaded, y'all.
Yeah. I think Alexander kicked Ibushi. Ibushi did the Pele kick, and then they just kind of like fell or something.
Yeah, and he's just like, y'all,
I actually have the match replaying while you guys are talking, and Ibushi just did his moonsault to the outside.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was a fantastic match, and I'm not taking it. I agree with you. It is like a match of the year contender. It wasn't as invested in it as Ciampa Gargano last week.
And that's fine. I've got no problem with that. I just have a problem with you calling it a spot fest, because I'm like, okay, but the normal terminology of a spot fest is just doing moves for the sake of doing moves, but there was a story here for that.
There was a story here for people who know them.
I disagree, because I could see it from the way that Alexander's trying to dodge stuff, and then they keep ramping up Ibushi as the favorite, and like it makes sense that Alexander's pulling these crazy moves out of the top of his hat, you know? That's where I was coming from. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that doesn't need to be just you have to be investing in them already to get that idea.
For me, nothing about this was a spot fest. No one was hitting moves for the sake of hitting the move, and that's what a spot fest is. Ibushi went for the moonsault. Alexander got out of the way, so Ibushi missed it. Alexander hit his move. Then later on in the match, Ibushi did actually get to nail it, and it was kind of part of the whole motion of them fighting back and forth over these little moves at the beginning and then hitting the bigger moves at the end. It wasn't the natural, gradual progression. It did jump up that notch, but it made sense from beginning to end, not knowing anything else about them.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I would say.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't a literal spot fest to the terminology.
Then it wasn't a spot fest.
It was a lot of moves that were really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Then just say you enjoyed the match, Drew. Just say you enjoyed it.
No, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I never said I didn't enjoy the match. I'm just saying that I was more invested last week.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I got no problem with that. My only point was just that, like, if you want to see a spot fest, go to like PWG or something, where they're just it's a crowd, it's just big matchups, and they're just trying to hit as much cool stuff as they can.
Yeah. If you want to see a spot fest, watch the Young Bucks or Brian Cage. because Brian Cage's handle is Mr. Get My Shit In.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's a spot fest.
Yeah, that's the spot fest. What they did here is you're in a tournament, you got to knock off the favorite. What are you doing?
Yeah, the CWC, for every match I've seen, has told a story from beginning to end in each episode and beginning to end in each match.
Yeah,
okay, just saw that 2.99 kick out.
Oh.
That was like a serious thing for me there. Cedric selling that like
oh my God, my dream.
The devil
got
himself.
crushed.
You can't put down. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was half murder, half I can't believe this.
Those New Japan guys know how to kick out at just the last second.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
noticed that over time. Balor does it. Like he'll kick out where it's like, no, that was 3, dude. What the fuck? But yeah, y'all want to talk about the ending, like after the match, the post credits?
No.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask both of you this. Did you like the post credits footage?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
No, because I didn't think it was going to happen after the match, and we were getting ready to podcast. So I was like, "Let's do this."
You poor guy. I'll send you the video. I've got to find it. It's on YouTube somewhere. Do you like the idea of that? Because that's not something WWE has ever done, to the best of my knowledge.
We'll just say what it was.
Well, it was the crowd chanting. What were they chanting? They were chanting "Thank you," I think, first.
They chanted "Thank you" first, and
at
then
Cedric Alexander, who is outside the ring.
I think, please sign him.
Yeah, they said the first chant was "Thank you," and Alexander's outside the ring tearing up, and then the next one is "Please sign Cedric," and he's coming back out to, like, he can't walk off when they're chanting that. And then Triple H comes out, puts an arm around his shoulders, sends him to the back, and puts a thumbs up to the crowd, saying, like, yeah, we're going to sign him. Like, that was pretty cool.
Okay, Triple H as a character has been the most, like, backstabbing motherfucker ever. But when he's on camera representing NXT, he's, like, 100% completely sincere. So if they don't sign Cedric, like, that's the most heelish move real-life Triple H could pull.
Oh, yeah. Because people went crazy for it. Apparently, I've been reading from people...
Like, NXT and CWC is what Triple H was designed to book. Like, he gets it in that way.
Dude, he lives for that. It's great.
It's weird, right?
It is
like,
really weird.
He's so obsessed with himself and winning, but when it comes to smaller guys, he sees all this potential.
I don't know, man. I think part of it is just getting older and maturing, and
growing.
I don't know him, or I know what I've heard from other people about him. So I don't want to ever put something on him that I can't credit someone else saying, like, this literally happened. But his reputation as a wrestler was one who would take advantage of people, and now he's doing such a wonderful job at creating so many stars that yeah, man, it's just he is catering to the audience, and he's catering to the wrestlers, and he's just doing such a great job to make wrestling a better place in 2016. So I've got a lot of respect for what he's done. What I was trying to say was that some people have looked into Alexander's bookings lately, and they're saying, like, it looks like he's done. It looks like he's coming to WWE, just from the way it's working.
And I think Triple H pretty much acknowledged that that's going to be the case by coming out and doing what he did.
Yeah, it was. He was like, yeah, we're listening, or at the very least, it was we're listening. But it was just such a great thing to see a wrestler give everything they had and get rewarded by the crowd like that. That was awesome, and it was just it was a great moment where we always feel like WWE doesn't understand the fans or doesn't listen to the fans at times, but this was just perfectly in line. Like, we love him, sign him. And Triple H comes out and says, I hear you. That was awesome.
And that's
It kind of made it like he was. You know, that's the cool thing about being at a live event, especially when you're in the crowd. Um, it made it seem like, to me, when I was watching, it made it seem like Triple H came out and they weren't going to sign him, and he like said, you know what? All right, you guys want me to sign him? Okay, cool. And like they didn't have plans to sign him until that crowd said, please sign Cedric. And then he comes out and like gives a thumbs up. Yep, all right, we'll sign him. No problem.
Yeah.
well, one match can change your life.
It really can.
Like the CWC seems like as much of a tryout for the wrestlers in it for the WWE to get them as it is for those wrestlers to see if they even want to work with them any further. I have to believe everybody there wants to be in the WWE to some extent, but like, yeah, that is so beautiful. Like having this live moment where everything comes together in such a way where the company has to acknowledge it to the live crowd and be like, yeah, dude murdered it.
Yeah.
We can't not recognize it in the same episode that it happened. Like that's taking over a show.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we always watch the WWE for, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, or WrestleMania. It's for those moments that really transcend the business in this kind of sense.
Yeah. And tonight was a moment like that, and that's why everybody's so happy and wanted to talk about it. That's why we're doing the podcast tonight. Like that's the reason.
Yeah.
Man, the Cruiserweight Classic is something special. It really is, and it's not just the way it is presented. It's the fact that you're giving 32 people who are not making as much money as they possibly could be a chance to literally make their dreams come true. And every person is going to the plate and just trying to hit a home run. And tonight we had a home run. It's just great. It's just awesome. It's cool, and we love it as fans because we want to see these guys succeed.
Right, and like I have no criticisms of the CWC because they gave me wrestling and commentary that went with the matches that were happening. It was great from beginning to end, all around. Like, this is what I want as a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
It was only 2 matches. It was 2 matches over an hour, and I'm more satisfied with this hour than I have been with Raw over the last 2 weeks. That's crazy talk.
I would say that's fair.
Like, you take the best hour of Raw, no comparison.
I would say it surpassed Raw this week.
Like, oh.
Well, here's my problem, is I said that's fair, and I do think it's fair because you can pick and choose which wrestling show you like the best, but it's also not fair to say this is 1 hour versus a 3-hour show and to compare those two based on that merit. But you take the best 2 matches of Raw versus these 2 matches, and you're probably still in the same boat. You probably still like this more.
And you do the same thing with SmackDown. You still probably like the CWC more.
Yeah. And,
I
think it's because of the hunger. I think it's because of there's stakes that are immediate. Winner keeps going. Loser is done. So the stakes are immediate, and they're happening right now in this match. We have some kind of result. But it's also because these guys are just giving their hearts, you know?
Oh, for sure.
I think that's why. And
So,
it's unfair to compare in that basis, but still. Go ahead, Drew.
Speaking of SmackDown, everyone may have noticed that there was no podcast or live tweeting of SmackDown yesterday.
We just fucking fell apart.
We apologize for that.
I don't think we should apologize. SmackDown wasn't worth it.
I went back and watched it, and I
didn't.
disappointed.
Really? Okay, well, fuck that then. Who cares? Forget I said it.
I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think it was. I love the Eva Marie thing. That was my favorite part of the show. That was so good.
Okay, no. Okay, you know what? we're making this NXT/CWC.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the Cruiserweight Classic review, and it's gonna have a bunch of SmackDown NXT stuff in it. That's how it's gonna be. On YouTube.
No, I don't give a shit about it. I don't give a shit about anything but what you just talked about. Because
Okay. Hey, Chris, you want to talk about the Eva Marie thing?
I didn't see it, but
Let
whatever.
me tell you how this went. Let me tell you how this went.
Okay, real quick.
Okay, so it was.
Wait,
It was,
hold on. D told me they were trying to do like a wardrobe malfunction, but the cameras weren't lined up right and the timing was off.
Oh, it was
So,
fine. He's being a stickler.
okay, because
It's,
I thought the way he said it, it sounded like Eva Marie botched.
No, tell that Mark to sit
spot.
down. Here's what happened. So it was a match against Becky Lynch, right? So it was basically doing what they did last week. And it's like, okay, this time she's going to debut, even though she's wrestled before. So she makes her way down to the ring with that long-ass motherfucking entrance. And she jumps off the top rope and kind of goes, ooh, my knee's okay. And then gets in the corner, and then they show a pic. They cut from her to Becky Lynch, and then there's just a scream, and they cut back to Eva, and like the straps are falling off her top, and she's like holding her chest, just like, oh my god, and so the referee throws a towel to her, and she just starts running to the back, and they're like, yeah, she can't compete. That's too traumatizing.
Wait, seriously, the spot was her boobs are too big to wear a bra.
No. Well, no, I think it was
Like,
essentially, yeah. I mean,
God,
that's essentially it. So Alexa Bliss comes out and is like, okay, you want to have, or, well, Becky was like just demanding a match from anybody because she's like, this is stupid. So Alexa Bliss comes out and she's like, all right, I'll knock off the #1 women's draft pick of SmackDown. So they have a match, and it was a good match. It was a very good match. And right when it's starting to get to where Becky's getting the upper hand, Eva Marie comes back out, does her entrance again, and Becky loses. And Eva's just like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I tried to change as fast as I could, and I came out, and it looks like Alexa beat me to it." It was great. The best trolling ever.
Zant, go ahead. Give your opinion on this first.
Okay, well, first of all, I love Eva Marie.
Yeah.
So she can never really do anything wrong, in my
First off,
opinion.
we both know how bad she is at wrestling. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
I can still be entertained by her.
Yeah, and that's what we're in this for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's why I got taken over by indie wrestling. It's just entertaining, regardless of who it is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something brilliant carrying over from NXT to SmackDown with how they're handling Eva. We know she's garbage, and we're going to rub it in your face every chance we get up until she actually has to wrestle. And then we're going to fucking lie our asses off to you about why it happened, and then treat you like garbage again until she has to wrestle again.
Absolutely. What they need to do next week is they need to have her get in the ring with Becky Lynch, and right when they're about to lock up, she screams, sees a deathly, like, poisonous spider, and runs away.
Oh, God. Or even have, like, a staged fan run in and, like, pretend to go after her or something.
Or, like, try to, like, kiss her or something.
There are a million ways they could get her out of matches against...
They could do this for months. They have to do this
Oh,
for
God.
months.
And it just, like, every 2 months or so, she gets her ass whooped.
Yeah, and then she just keeps doing that.
Yeah, but then she'll go right back after the person who just beat her and, like, that wasn't fair. I wasn't ready. After the last 2 months, I had all these things happen. How could I possibly be ready for that match?
Poor Eva. Man, poor Eva. She's just...
Poor
She's
Eva.
just a victim. She's just a victim.
Victim.
Poor Eva.
She's a victim of just horrendous circumstances.
All the time. She has nothing to say about what's going on in her life, even though she's making all the decisions. All these crazy things are happening around her, and she's just trying to survive it, Drew.
She's just trying to survive. She's trying to make a living.
I couldn't hold it anymore.
I can.
So,
Just the idea of her trying to lie on camera kills me.
What was great was
all right.
the
All right,
interview.
I listened to you two talk long enough. Shut up.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Shut up, both of you.
Everybody, enjoy Eva Marie while we have her, man. She's just having some tough things go on in her life right now. So, prayers up for Eva.
All right, everything, y'all.
Prayers up for Eva.
I swear to God, if I did this Google Hangout, I would have hung up on your ass.
Well, that's the thing is I'm the one that always fucking does it because y'all can't handle technology.
I'm old. I have an excuse.
I was in Home Depot and you were trying to do your Arizona. What's the Arizona indie wrestling show you went to?
Arizona Wrestling Federation.
Arizona Wrestling Federation. Shout out to them. I'm in Home Depot trying to find some shit for around the house, and I get Twitter DM'd by Drew over there, like, hey man, how do you set up a Google Hangout? Like, having to step by step show him. He sent me screenshots.
Like, okay, that podcast went down kind of like the last second Raw did. That's on us.
Yeah, that's on us. Anyway,
Fuck
yeah, man. Cruiserweight Classic's awesome. NXT, give them time. They'll be good again.
Drew, any last thoughts?
Any last thoughts? Yeah, I have some last thoughts. Okay?
I need to hang up right now. That's what I need.
Yeah,
to do.
cut him off. Cut him
Here's
off.
your last thoughts, okay? You motherfuckers. Here's your last thoughts.
Motherfuckers.
Fuck Eva Marie.
No.
Fuck you.
Yes,
No.
please. I totally would.
And that is such a fucking hypocritical thing.
What?
That it's okay that it's Eva Marie whose top just conveniently breaks and she has to hold her boob.
Point. She's the diva
No,
of the
doesn't
women's
matter.
division.
Doesn't matter. Shut up. I heard you talk enough.
So diva stuff happens to her.
The
Hey,
point is,
let
that
him do
if
his
that
thing.
was anyone, if there was anyone else, there would be public outcry. Next week or next month, when this blows over, that happens to Becky Lynch. Oh, how dare Vince do that to Becky Lynch? How awful that is. Misogynistic. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay,
But
they would
because-
never do that with another female wrestler, though. They're playing with this notion of what we think Eva Marie is.
This
And-
is what I
Exactly.
don't like. This is why she should never have been there. She should not be there. And tell you something now, Becky was the first women's draft pick for SmackDown,
Yeah.
and she got beat by Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
After Eva comes out with her entrance again. How does that look on Becky?
Looks
Becky
fun.
looks like a dumbass.
You're trying to make a competitive women's division. With
Yeah.
a bunch of NXTers.
Becky's the pro. Natty's the pissed off veteran for no reason. And then
Becky
you have a
looks like a
and
dumbass.
okay, Becky's looked like an idiot for a while, but that's a different subject.
How are we still talking about
But this is part of the problem with the NXT thing. All the talent got called up, so there's nothing left in NXT, and they're still trying to figure everything out on the main roster. That's why we love the CWC. It works, it makes sense, and we appreciate every match they have.
Yeah, why did we even have
Prayers
to
up
bring
for
this
Eva,
up?
man.
Because
Prayers up
now
for Eva.
you just got me angry about stupid Eva Marie bullshit.
She's awesome. You're just jelly. Just jelly.
What am I jelly of?
You're just jelly.
All right, it doesn't matter. It's time to end it.
It's time to end this.
get
Ladies
us
and
the
gents,
fuck out.
we're stupid. We're Smark City. You can find us at thesmarkcity.com, on Twitter at thesmarkcity. Come talk to us. We'll talk back.
Later, Twitters.
and probably be nice to you.
Twitter,
You
Twitter, Twitter, Twitter.
You motherfuckers.
Twitter, Twitter, Twitter,
They
Twitter.
don't know what that means.
They're not supposed to.
They're not ever going to know what that means, so why do you always bring it up?
Why wouldn't I? Twitter.
Fair point. Good night.